What's
Hello,
up? What's up? What it
the
do?
one
How you
and
doing?
only,
How we doing today?
the one and only consciously. I am good because I am talking to you.
You ain't got to do me like that, man. We good, you know.
It is so good to see you.
Yeah, yes. I'm looking forward to our conversation. I actually been looking forward to this, you know what I'm saying, for a long time. Into funny story, right? Funny story. You already know I be kind of bullshitting in my DMs in terms of getting back at people with timely manners. Our homie Wayne Brady had hit me up too. I got it, but I responded 4 months late.
Well, I
Yeah.
am glad that you responded to me faster than you responded to Wayne Brady. Very
Yeah,
honest.
hey, I'm building healthy habits. You know, building healthy habits. You gotta start somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Communicate.
Yeah, man. But yeah, tell me. I feel like I was able to. I feel like I was able to catch a video that you did today that I think that was very, very. I feel like appropriate for what we talking about in today. I mean, about what we talking about today, like in terms of allyship and stuff. But I want to know more about you because I didn't know you was at Ivy League and all that stuff. So going on and you feel me for me and everybody watching that might not know your background. Can you go on and just sprinkle a little something on us?
Yes, I'll sprinkling some on us. I still can't believe that I'm talking to TheConciousLee. So again, thank you so much for talking with me. Um, I just graduated last May. I spent all my adult life in the academia, the higher ed space, pursuing master's degrees pertaining to oppression. I studied gender oppression more than I studied racial oppression, but I've always the people who shaped my thoughts and shaped my leadership have been, people of color, BIPOC scholars. So I always feel deeply indebted to the BIPOC community, and I'm growing and learning as an ally. So I'm grateful for our friendship because I know you speak so much about allyship and POC unity. So thank you for all the work that you do.
Thank you. Yeah. So yeah. So where did you go specifically though? Like where you spend some time at in higher ed? You know where you get your degrees at? What they in? I'm at this point. I'm being nosy.
Nosy. I went to Cornell for undergrad. I went to Harvard twice for master's degrees. And I am headed to Columbia for another master's degree. So I am spending all my adult life in the
What
higher.
you waiting on to become doc? What you waiting on? Why you gonna become doc? Go get the PhD, doctor. What you waiting on?
Oh, it's just that I've gotten to know the academia, and it's such a soulless place, such a racist, like classist place. Like I've seen so many people going into PhD just so hopeful and just so all of these things, and then they come out of it and they're just so hurt and so just like, oh, like kill me, like So and I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not going near, like nowhere near that shit. So I'm happy. I'm happy with
Yeah,
that.
that's real. That's the reason why I ain't got mine too. So that's actually, you know.
Yeah. What is your background?
See, I got all my degrees from the University of Oklahoma. I got an undergraduate degree in African American Studies. I have two master degrees as well. I have a master's degree in human relations, and I have a master's degree in adult and higher education. And then because I did debate I feel like as a result of doing debate and taking women and gender studies courses in graduate school, getting a certificate, I feel like I'm kind of more versed than I feel like most males anyway in terms of I feel like gender everything. You know what I'm saying? In terms of I feel like political, social, economic, as well as knowing a little bit of history and being able to be familiar with some literature. You know what I'm saying? Like the all the stuff or whatever. I'm actually thinking about today getting into some making me a video about seams of subjection, the Horton Spillers. It's been a minute since I, you know what I'm saying, touched down in it, but really getting into the seams of subjections. I seen a list that said that it showed me the top 100 TikTokers, and I ain't see no black women in there. You
Yeah.
feel me?
Yeah.
And me just being me, how I see stuff is like, damn. So black women make up damn near 80-90% of the trends on this app. Black women are very made fun of, duplicated, copied, on this app. And the people that benefit the most, you feel me, not only on this app, because I feel like it represents the world, but it's like are non-black women. And I feel like, you know what I'm saying, it just blew my mind. Like, damn, all these damn dances they making it. So it is kind of, blew my mind.
Yeah, I mean, this app treats black people terribly. I mean, black women terribly. Like it's not only the suppression, but I mean, it's just. I mean, I feel like the algorithm clearly does not like black people because they have so much harder time going viral
Yeah.
than non-black folks. And
Yeah.
I have to add that anytime I duet, you know how like with the duet function you have a green screen video now, like so you can just disappear. Anytime I did that with a black content creator, it would go straight to under review. We'll sit there for 5 hours, or if it ever goes live, it'll get taken down for hate speech within like an hour, and then I would get I would get
Yeah,
like
man, that's how it
banned
goes. That's yeah. I feel like at this point you gotta laugh at it so you don't get pissed off at it. I think that at this point it's really don't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Southerner, so I feel like I always got a whole bunch of Southern sayings to be able to make sense of things. And this one is just like, man, if the shit don't make sense, you sitting there trying to make it make sense and make it go crazy. And I just think that in this instance, I just see it as being a lot of arbitrary enforcement of the community
Mm.
guidelines that makes it where, you feel me, the word I'm gonna start using now is digital redlining. Like I don't even care to use the word shadow banning. I don't really, what I'm saying, care to even talk about suppression in that way.
Mm.
I'd rather introduce a whole new concept, a whole new term in terms of digital redlining. That way, when I talk to people of TikTok as a debate coach, they don't recognize that I know more than what they, what I'm saying, we're going down with, right? So when I have people talking to me about the phenomenon on TikTok that's happening to us, they'll deny it. Oh no, Mr. Lee, there's no such thing as smash reporting. Oh no, we don't do that. That's just how this. No, there's no. So, but now when I talk about digital redlining, they have to ask me questions about what I'm talking about. They don't get to attach all that bullshit stigma onto what I'm saying and gaslight me and say, well, no, that's not like, nah, bump all that. I know they prepped you good to come for this meeting right here, but I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about this. So, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm gonna start talking about. And two, it's a whole bunch of literature already out there. It's a whole bunch of ironically, black women. I'm pointing at you as a black woman, but we're talking about black women that's doing the work in terms of creating literature about digital redlining.
Mm.
And it's just like the history of like redlining in terms of real estate, but it makes you think about it in terms of the virtual world. So it's just about how practices, policies, procedures are being able to exacerbate or being able to perpetuate a lot of the trends that's out in the real world. So now we see that accessibility, we see that resources, what I'm saying, are usually lacking for these particular communities. We see the algorithm that's pretty much reflecting a lot of the more material, you feel me, world in terms of making it where the metaphysicals see the same thing, like we in the Matrix. Whereas, you know what I'm saying, it's like making videos on TikTok has, I'm sure it made both of us where we're recognized now in the real world. So we see that now, like world 2.0, world 3.0, world 4.0, shit's starting to get really in our laps. And I think digital redlining is making it where the world is like when I learned, and I'm gonna shut up after this, but I learned that social media is the most lucrative industry in human history, more than automobiles, more than oil, more than real estate, more than all these things. So when we start thinking about digital redlining, you have to think about how the distribution of wealth and how like literally finances is being structured through this industry that's known as social media, and how a lot of the black people that's making the trends and the dances and the slang, you feel me, how we're being the producers and we put in the labor, but we not, you know what I'm saying, we're not being valued as producers. Our products are being valued, but we're not being valued as producers. But I also think that there's a lot of like, I'm in the Afro pessimism. You feel me? That's what I'm thinking. And it's a whole bunch of separating black flesh from black labor and a whole bunch of fungibility of black folks and blackness. You feel me? But I also want this conversation too to be about multiple layers of allyship. You feel me? I'm a straight cisgender black man. You feel me? And I think that, you know what I'm saying, I feel like there's a lot of ways we can think about, you know what I'm saying, allyship in terms of, you know what I'm saying, you being Asian, me being black, me being, you know what I'm saying, a man, you being a woman in different ways. You feel me? I think that we can make it where it's a very complex, you know what I'm saying, thing to talk about, especially with our demographics, you know?
I feel you. Because
I'm sorry. Yeah.
I mean, you said so many. I mean, that's all of that is treasure. You know, I think it's yeah. I mean, I think it's really important to realize that um, me as an Asian woman, I experience racism, but I do not experience anti-blackness. And there's a clear difference between the two. And I think Asian people, for POC unity, Asian people need to have that understanding. Yes, both groups suffer from white supremacy, but how it impacts black folks and how it impacts Asian folks is different. We have to understand that. We have to have appreciation for that. And not having appreciation for that and just saying like, well, we both suffer from white supremacy, so let's unite. That misses the point. So that's something that I wanted to convey during this live. And I think the second one is, I just think, you and I are in, I think you said it best. It's, I think you and I, in terms of allyship, is, reciprocal in a lot of ways because, you as a cishet man, are an ally to me as a cishet woman. And I am an ally to you in that you are a black person. So I
Right.
think there is an interesting dynamic there, and so
Yeah.
I thought you brought up, so many good things, and you are consciously. And the last thing I will say, I just think it's so interesting how as the history evolves, it's just the same stories of black people being exploited. It's just through different medium, right? Like it's
Definitely.
whatever is the most most profitable industry at the time. It is built on the backs of black people. It's just right now it's happening to be social media,
Yeah.
and I just
Yes.
it's an evolving trend. That's how the world is evolving, right? Like
Yeah.
nothing has actually changed. I mean, we still have the pipeline, right?
Yeah, they
Like we
say same shit, this is a different toilet. You know what I'm saying? Same shit, this is a different toilet. You feel me? That's how, you know what I'm saying? It even smell the same most of the time. So you know that's usually what we record. I feel like it's a great way for us to have an analysis to understand how though things transcend over time. I feel like the reason why I like studying about structures and getting into like structuralism is because I get to understand how things also remain the same over time. You know
mm.
what I mean? And I think that a lot of time I feel like us being people that study about oppression, that's usually what's weaponized against us. You know what I mean? That we usually have, some would say, expertise in being able to point out how things remain the same. And as a result, we usually pigeonholed as being victimizers or victim mentality, or you feel me? Shit, I don't know. As an Asian woman, do you get called race hustler?
Race hustler.
Race hustler? Familiar with the term race hustler?
Mm-mm.
Oh shit. Let me put you on something right here. Yeah. So originally the term race hustler was used as a political term for actually a white dude. I can't think of it. I think it's Wallace. I think Wallace was running for maybe president in like the 60s or some shit like that. And he was seen as a race hustler. I feel like I might be getting the person mixed up. But I want to give you sort of context for it first, is that there was a white person that mobilized the term race hustler because he was able to galvanize political, you know what I'm saying, support by being able to demonize, you know what I'm saying, black people and things like that. Now the term is used more like in the colloquial sense, like, people like, you can read the book
Oh,
Uncle
yeah.
Tom, you
Right,
understand, like
right.
like the historical figure
That's
Uncle
right.
Tom.
That's
But then
right.
like somebody, but because somebody Uncle Tom has a different, you know what I'm saying, understanding.
That's
So
right.
in this instance, you feel me? It has kind of the same thing. You know what I mean? Like race hustler, you feel me? The historical context was really white people said it was good. It was good for them. You know what I'm saying? But now that you have people on social media and really going back to even like the time of like Booker T. Washington and W.E. Du Bois, you feel me? You had this term idea about a race hustler, and what it was saying is that there are black people that get to go around and kind of make money and hustle off of pain and suffering of other black people by telling them you ain't gonna never be shit because you black and this, that, and the other, this, that, and the other. So most times people will inscribe that idea and say, hey, ConciousLee is a race hustler, and all he does is tell black people they can be a victim and tell them they can't do nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's usually conservative people that have this understanding that says that, hey, if you black and you talk about being black and you talk about it from a perspective that says that oppression is bad or white supremacy, then per se you are being a victim. I think that shit funny because before I got here with this lie to you, I'm in Target with my wife and my kids. You feel me? And guess who fucking book I see in the goddamn book section? Candace Owens. What is the subtitle of Candace Owens' book? How black people can get off the Democratic plantation. So the idea, that's what the subtitle of the book was. You feel me? And not only that, at the top of that motherfucker, it say, I think New York bestseller books, whatever that, you know what I'm saying? I'm at a loss of words right now with that, but you know what I'm talking like it's moving units, and she's literally being able to monetize a racialized perspective in terms of chastising black people for being quote unquote liberal. So, you know me, I always say conservative contradictions. Race hustling, they usually say talking about race is bad and trying to make money about race is bad, but then they get all these black Republicans and or people of color, because I've also ran into the Latino conservatives that literally market themselves as being Latino conservatives. I didn't ran into like almost was like literally pick a racial minority. They're gonna tell you race don't matter, but they're gonna tokenize themselves as being the racial person that's not like them over there. Huh. But race hustle though.
You know,
New York Times bestseller list. I sound like an idiot when I said that. But yeah, New York Times bestseller list, book about race, goddamn. That's what I was trying to say. Something simple too. But yeah.
there is something inherently violent about saying race does not matter. It's incredibly dehumanizing and degrading because that's how the person experiences the world. That's who they are. And so, you know, when I hear race does not matter, you're basically telling them that they do not matter. Hence, Black Lives Matter. Like, race is who they. I mean, yeah, I would love to live in a world where race is not a social construct. But the reality is, race is. I mean, having been surrounded by BIPOC, so many people have said the first thing I think about in the morning is the fact that I'm Black. Like you can't tell that experience does not exist to that person by saying race is not a thing or race does not matter. I just think that's
So yeah, you took it deeper than I took it. I think about it even though simplistic. Yes, yeah, what you want, Izzy?
I like barbecue.
You want the barbecue?
barbecue.
Go tell mommy to get you some barbecue.
Barbecue.
Yeah, go tell her to get some barbecue. Yeah, BBQ. I don't know what you call it. You know what I'm saying? I forgot what I was saying, huh? Yeah, I forgot what I was about to say.
I was talking about how race is not a thing, and then you were like, well,
oh yeah, you took it deeper, not took it. I think about it simple as when I go fill out a job application, when I want to get any type of resources, whether I'm on food stamps, HUD, or welfare, or whether I'm doing a test. The second question they're gonna ask me usually what's my race is. You feel me? They're gonna ask me my name. They're gonna ask me my race. All applications, but race doesn't matter. Think about it. You know what I'm saying? Whether you want and to think about the industries and oil and gas and real estate and textiles, there are all metrics that we can see a statistic based off of race. You know what I'm saying? Even from an educational standpoint, when we start to administer tests, we want to compare test scores, we're gonna do it through race and understand, you know what I'm saying, through understanding the race. So I just find it funny that it be like race don't matter. But it's like, God damn, it said on my driving license. It's on my birth certificate. On my pass. It's like I don't know what you're saying, don't matter. Like, what you mean? They gonna say African American male, 6'1", dreadlocks, copy. I'm gonna be identified that way. So that's why I think about it simple. Like, damn, it don't matter, huh?
It's codified in the it's right. That is codified in like our existence and our in the world. So I mean, it just stresses me out so much. Like because I struggle with this because I think me as somebody who is in the journey of being an ally to the Black community, I think my job is to listen to the Black people, as much as possible. Realizing that Black people are not a monolith. Like not a single Black person speaks for the entire Black population. So my job is to make sure that I talk to as many people as possible within the boundaries that I have, for myself. And there I struggle with it's how do I show up and advocate for the people that in that community, and with and realize that some people in that community have deeply problematic belief systems that are rooted in white supremacy. So like Candace Owens is a great example, right? So I think a lot of allies realistically struggle with this, right? Like especially allies who are just starting off, struggle a lot with this. How do I show up for the entire Black community while understanding that because anti-Blackness is in everybody.
Definitely, including Black people.
Right? Like it really, I think it's inappropriate for non-Black people to, it just makes me feel uncomfortable whenever somebody talks about Candace Owens, a non-Black person like talks about Candace Owens, and they go on and talk about how like problematic she is, like, and there's something about that just makes me feel like I don't know if that's, you know what I mean?
Nah, you're right though. I think that because like the plight of Black people has been so, I feel like, especially over the past year, so popularized and so kind of normalized in terms of being in everybody's perspective. I think there's been a lot of what we call it, you know what I'm saying? Well, I know people getting too familiar, you know what I'm saying? So it's like when you get too familiar, usually for my community, it's like shit, saying that now you've gotten too comfortable and your comfort level has made it where you forgot to be more conscious about what you're saying and where you at and where you're speaking from. So the idea of a lot of liberals, definitely white liberals and a lot of non-Black liberals, would try to talk shit about Black conservatives in ways that they hear Black people talk about. And it's like, I get the confusion, you feel me? And I get, you know what I'm saying? They're like, hold on, but I thought it's just like, hold on, though. Because now you're going to start sliding into the pathologizing Black people and recognizing this, that, and the other. So it's like, you know what I mean? And usually how I'm able to make those distinctions and understandings and how my relationship to the LGBT community. You feel me? Like I'm straight, heterosexual. I mean, I'm straight and cisgender. A lot of times when they have intra-communal conversations about, you feel me, what the A stand for in LGBTQA plus, or what is stealth, or what is that, I recognize that it's certain conversations I ain't got no business even being a part of. Like I ain't got I don't have no voice on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't got nothing to say about that. You feel me?
That's right.
So how I understanding is being able to kind of, I feel like me understanding the boundaries in terms of the Black community, where it's like, hey, this the ally, but you don't get to call nobody Uncle Tom. Like that, like for the non-Black people watching this, non-Black people should never call Black people Uncle Toms. No matter how much you think a person is being a white supremacist sympathizer, no matter how much you think that they're being an apologist to anti-Blackness, you let another Black person say that right there. Because what it comes off is as you kind of being able to tone police, and or it just comes off as being tasteless, you know what I'm saying, in terms of being able to give a racial analysis that's really not a part of your thing. You feel me? Or think about it like this. I'm a male. I know about sexism and patriarchy, right? I understand that within the women community, within the feminine body community, there's an understanding of a pick me. You feel me? It would be out of line for me to call a woman a pick me. You know what I'm saying? In my mind. You feel? You see what I'm saying? Like, that's not my lane. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's me now being like, whoa, now George, hold on, nigga, you getting too familiar. Like, you see what I'm saying? It's like, you're not a woman. I probably shouldn't do that. You see what I'm saying? Or it is being like, you know what I'm saying? Women might call each other basic bitches. I bet I never call no one a basic bitch. You see what I'm saying? And these examples to me is how I understand staying in my lane in terms of being an ally. There might be some real conversations that's happening within within the feminist community about a basic B or about a pick me. ConciousLee's perspective and voice is not needed on that. You feel what I'm saying? That's how I think about it. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to like the black shit, it's like, hey, Black people, we gonna take that amongst ourselves about what we should be doing and how we should be doing it. You feel me? And those conversations are so hard to have because this is what a lot of the Black community been fighting about for centuries. You see what I'm saying? It's like you can read a journal about the plantation, and it's gonna be multiplicity of enslaved people's perspectives. You feel me? You had some enslaved people that want to take over the plantation. You had some enslaved people that want to burn that motherfucker down. You had some enslaved people that want to run the plantation. You had some enslaved people that simply want to run away. And I think that because there's always been this understanding of, you said it yourself, like Black people ain't a monolith. Sometimes us as Black people forget that as well. You feel me? So we want to make sure that non-Black people is not being able to put it in that way as well. You feel what I'm saying? Because usually when it come off as non-Black people start getting too deep and talking shit about Candace Owens, it's like, hey, you kind of proving her point now. You see what I'm saying? Or it's like, hey, there is some Black folks that there is a way for some Black people to conform to conservatism. You feel me? And to be cool. Say hey, Izzy. Say hey.
Hey.
What do you go by? What do you go by? Do I call you her perspective? What's your
Evelyn.
Evelyn. Say hey, Evelyn.
Evelyn.
Hello.
Yeah. Here. She came to me open up some applesauce, and then she really didn't want nothing from me. She's want me to open up some applesauce.
Applesauce.
And now she on her way.
Applesauce.
But yeah, I think that's how I'm usually able to understand and construct the boundaries of allyship in terms of when I'm trying to be an ally to like feminism, womanism, progression of women, or when I'm trying to be an ally to like the LGBT community or like the deconstruction of heteronormativity. I think about like what is my position and what's my proximity to the issue. And I think that if I can't be in it, then I think that it's not for me. You know what I'm saying? That's usually how I look at it.
How do you define a good ally?
How I define a good ally is somebody that's willing to mess up, and you're willing to. I thought it's just two things really. An ally is somebody, an ally accomplice when we want to be, you know what I'm saying, a co-conspirator, as some would put it. It's like somebody that can not scared of making a mistake. You see what I'm saying? Like, I know that me being an ally to the LGBT community or me being an ally for the progression of women, there is going to be times that I have my blind spots of being patriarchal, sexist, misogynistic, or have my blind spots of being heteronormative or being, you feel me? And I think that I can be conscious and be real about I have those. You know what I'm saying? And I think I'm still going to act. And I think the second thing that makes you a good ally to accomplish somebody that's willing to acknowledge when you're wrong, willing to take the responsibility for being wrong. And I think that to me, that's what it would come down to. It's like when we moving and grooving, is you gonna be pump faking and hesitating, worrying about being wrong? Because we don't. That shit that can get both of us hurt. You see what I'm saying? But also too, if you do something wrong, what is your recourse? What is your reaction? What is your response to when you get called out for being wrong? I've been called out by multiple communities for doing, you know what I'm saying, wild foul shit because of how I think, and I'm gonna jump off the roof to make my analysis. You feel me? But I'm willing to say I'm wrong, though. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes I can be a little ignorant and defensive and accepting how I'm wrong. But once I'm wrong, I realize I'm wrong. I accept that I'm wrong, and I you know what I'm saying, I take it. You feel me? And it's just like as a Southerner from down south for Baptists, you feel me? It's like, hey, they repent, goddamn it, and return away from the sin. So you feel me? Once I apologize one time for it, I'm not trying to apologize for it again. So I'm gonna try to, you know what I'm saying, correct my actions.
Because I think I see a lot. I think I see some of this like from allies. I mean, I'll speak about feminism and how male allies showed up, and there were times it was really frustrating because they will get involved because there's a moral urgency to act when they see something. It's like, oh, I have to protect the people who I'm advocating for. That is great, and they there are times from the purest place of out of their heart, they would get involved, and that and in there they would make mistakes, some things that are just like and I think what differentiates an effective ally from a non-effective ones is that when a community sees what you are doing on behalf of, or like not even on behalf of, but for our community, and we say like, bro, like stop, like what you are doing is not working, it's not helping, then that's when you stop. That's when your intention stops mattering. Like you listen. That's it. Like I think that's the hallmark of good allyship is deference to the community that you're advocating for. So once you jump in, okay, so there was a moral urgency for you to act because you care about us, and you act. But then when we tell you the way you acted, whoop.
Yeah, I'm just trying something. We trying it. We trying this out. I just seen it. I don't know what that is.
Like when you have acted, and our community is like the reason why you got involved is good. It's just the way you got involved. You cannot, like there is a difference between why and the how. And your why is good. How was not. So we are telling you that this was not good. And good allies, I feel like, they stop and go, okay, what do you need from me? Right. The allies that I have seen are problematic are just like digging their foot and being like, no, I was right, I was coming from but I'm like, no, we're telling you that it didn't work. Like you did this for us, right? And we're saying that it didn't work for us. So why are you in your stubbornness with your intentions? It does not matter. It stopped mattering a while ago. Why are you in that place?
See, I think when it comes to like masculinity and trying to save shit and trying to protect and what I'm saying, going in with good intentions. My grandfather always said the pathway to hell is paved with good intentions. You know what I'm saying? And I think we understand like the pathway to hell is paved with good intentions, recognizes that sometimes we can have the most purest, positive intention or motive to doing something, but we still can have a bad result or the impact can be fucked up. You feel me? And it's like your good intentions doesn't negate the bad impact, the fucked up impact that we got to. And I think that masculinity makes it where we get to almost, I feel like cross-cultural, you feel me? Black, white, native, Asian, Hispanic. It's like there's something I feel like it's something that's benevolent about the way that masculinity, how we get to exert that shit. You know what I'm saying? And make it where it's like, yeah, but I was trying to help you though. Yeah, but I was doing something good though. And it's just like that's the end all be all for us. It's like that's almost how we've been conditioned. You know what I'm saying? I think that it's kind of getting past that to be like, all right, this time I'm conditioned, but I ain't gonna make no excuse to make it where I can't act because of this, that, and the other. I want these white folks to unlearn and relearn some shit. Well, me as a man, I'm gonna unlearn and relearn some shit, and that's how I'm able to understand it. You feel me? Like intersectionality to me, I see it as it's a big old system of power and oppression. There's multiple tools of how this system is able to hoard its power and oppression. Can you kind of put your binoculars on, the hater blockers, as they would say in Oakland, you feel me, to be able to recognize the way in which this tool is able to kind of push hate, or the way that this system is able to deploy different tools, ableism, misogyny, sexism, anti-blackness, whatever, you feel me, to be able to create this hierarchy. And I feel like that's what I'll be trying to think about in terms of being an ally. You know what I mean?
What I think one of the struggles that I have as an ally is setting boundaries. It's just knowing my boundaries and setting my boundaries. And I think that that conversation internally and with other people who are on the journey of allies and on the journey of being an ally. Oh my goodness!
She want to be a baby now. So yeah. She want to be a baby now.
What's her name?
Izzy.
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 Izzy. Izzy is in the house.
She alright. I'm gonna give her some attention when we get off.
But yeah, I think the struggle is, you know, I don't necessarily think that allies, you know, need to. I mean, I think allies need to listen to, you know, as many people as possible in the community that they're, you know, they're trying to advocating for. But I don't think it's necessary for them to listen to everybody. And I think it's impossible. I think it's literally impossible for allies to listen to everybody in the community that they're advocating for. There are, you know, billions of people in that community, millions.
Yeah. I think a good ally should have discernment, though. I thought you should have discernment to be able to, you know what I'm saying, recognize when to listen and when you ain't really got to listen. You feel me? Or that's saying, I feel like when you should just listen and to understand, and when you should listen for dialogue. I feel like, you know what I'm saying? That's what I think the discernment is into. Because I'm keeping it stacked with you, too. I recognize that when I'm talking about LGBTQ things, because I've read so much and had so many debates and had so many conversations, I'm gonna be a little bit more versed in terms of perspective, but I mean, I'm saying perspective, but in terms of language to talk to that experience. But I don't have that experience. You see what I'm saying? I recognize that there are also people that's within the LGBT community that might not be able to speak to it like I can. Like I'm recognizing there are people in the Black community, you feel me, that maybe can't speak to the Black experience the way that maybe you can because you've read things in academia. You know what I'm saying? But I'm recognizing that when I have my, you know what I'm saying, when I feel like when I'm trying to use discernment, you feel me? Like I know that I know every Black person in the Black community knows what they're talking about. I know every person in the LGBT community don't know what they're talking about. I know that everybody that's a woman, that, you know what I'm saying, don't know what they talking. You know what I'm saying? I know that just because you're in that community don't mean that you're an expert and being able to speak truth to power to that experience. You know what I'm saying? And I think that that's part of that discernment. But I also think that being able to I feel like me and you in a weird place that we try to. I think that we recognize that usually it's gonna be a lot of non-people that we don't know that's not gonna really rock with us like that. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure you probably know some Black folks that's not fucking with you regardless of what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? I know some women that's not fucking with me regardless of what I'm talking about. I know some people in the LGBT community, they ain't finna rock with me regardless of what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? And I think that I'm cool with that though. You feel me? I'm an ally in the community. I want to see the progression of the community. I don't really need no friends in terms of I'm being an ally to have friends. You see what I'm saying? And I think that me being able to, I know that sometimes I ain't want it. I ain't like that. Like that's how I say that. I know sometimes I ain't want it, and I know that me wanting to be wanted and me always wanting to be celebrated and not tolerated gets in the way of my ego and being an ally. Because sometimes I ain't gonna be celebrated. See what I'm saying? Like you talking about it right now in terms of like male allyship for like women progression. A lot of times our presence is gonna be tolerated. You feel me? You feel me? As an ally, I gotta sit with that and deal with that. I gotta deal with that. I gotta be able to, you know what I'm saying, suture my own ego and be cool with that. I always want to talk. I always want to show people what I want. Sometimes I have to shut up and listen. I can be cool with that.
What is in your mind difference between allyship and friendship?
To me, allyship means that you have a relationship to a particular positionality that you want to see, you know what I'm saying, like progress. You feel me? Like I feel like I care about the ally progression of women, but I know that all women, they don't see me as their friend. You know what I'm saying? Or almost how I see the N-word thing like this. It's some Black folks, I mean, it's some non-Black people that have gotten N-word passes from Black people. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a crazy ass idea, but listen, in terms of friendship, you non-Black people have friendships with Black people that let them say the N-word. It becomes bad when they try to universalize it. Like, hey, them Black folks, them your nigga. They said them niggas say you can call them nigga, that's cool. Only them niggas over there. All niggas is not gonna go for you calling them a nigga. You see what I'm saying? And that's how I think that's how I look at the distinction between allyship and friendship. It's literally the idea of the N-word thing. It's like, hey, I'm from down south. So that's a lie. There is some Mexican people that I've been around, that I'm around, that I grew up around. They say the N-word, I don't bat my eye. I'm like, yeah, we're good, nigga. I don't think about it twice. You know what I'm saying? But I think that those Mexican homies know that they don't N-word this, N-word that around everybody. Cause they have a friendship with me. They allyship and them believe in Black Lives Matter don't mean they get to say N-word to everybody. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I see it. You feel me? Like it's certain LGBTQ people that let me really talk with them. And I can talk with them. You know what I'm saying? But it's certain I don't do that with everybody though.
Right. Should allies to the Black community want Candace Owens' voices to be lifted? So may I tell you where that question is coming from? Yeah.
That's a hell of a question.
See, I think as an ally, I understand that there are problematic individuals in every community. Like, even in feminism and even for progression of women. I don't want men elevating okay, well, elevate us systemically. But don't, you don't have to, like, there's some, like, really questionable women, right? Like, in our generation. And I just, like, you do not, don't, I go and say, I literally go and say, don't listen to her. Like, she does not represent the rest of us, right? Like, but still, there is a question of systemically uplifting women's voices. Right. So, I think there's a question of, so I guess my question about Candace Owens is, I see that I don't think she's helping. I don't particularly like her. Right? I don't think she's all that good. But she's I think she belongs to the community that I'm trying to advocate for. And I think there is some sort of obligation on my part to her in that. And I'm struggling to find what that is. You know what I mean? So, like, should I want the elevation of her voice as with the rest of the rest of the Black community, or how does
How you
that
feel
work?
about trans women? That's how we're gonna do this right here. How you feel about trans women?
How do I feel about trans women?
Yeah, you feel
Trans
like how
women
you
or
feel about
women?
the progression of trans women, like trans women, trans women, bam. Shit, how you feel about Caitlyn Jenner?
I oh,
See what I'm saying?
right.
So me and you feel the same way then. You know what I mean? I'm all for the rising tide. You feel me? The rising tide gonna maybe help all the little tugboats and all the cruise liners, maybe. You feel me? For the most part. But it's particular boats I ain't trying to see. You know what I'm saying? Like I know from being able to keep my ear to the streets that a lot of the shit that Caitlyn Jenner be pushing be parasitic towards other trans women. You feel me? But I'm gonna let them other trans women get on her ass, and I ain't gotta do it. You know what I'm saying? And really, that's how I see Candace Owens. It's like, hey, we gonna get on a helmet, and y'all can be critical with her. You know what I'm saying? But be critical with her in terms. I must be critical with consciousness and recognizing it's very easy to pathologize a Black person, and or all of us are conditioned by anti-Blackness. And it might be a way for you to rationalize being anti-Black because you feel like she's being anti-Black. You see what I'm saying? Almost how I see it as on TikTok, a lot of us make content. So we'll stitch somebody, you feel me? You might see a funny looking ass, you feel me? White supremacist, this, that, and the other, right? You and I, we conscious, we hip to the game. You know what I'm saying? So what if it's let's be straightforward. What if it's a fat Trump supporter that's being anti-Black to me? This don't justify me being fat phobic to the fat Trump supporter. You see what I'm saying? That's how I feel. That's what I'm gonna debate. You know what I'm saying?
That's beautiful.
Like I still got followers that's fat. So me talking shit about this, you know what I'm saying? So you know what I mean? So that's how I see it. It's like, hey, I get into it with you, and you feel me, and you have a disagreement, and you start being anti-Black. This don't justify me start talking shit about Asians and shit. You feel me? I gotta beef with you. You see what I'm saying? And I think that a lot of times when it comes to ally and friendship, we got to be able to use discernment to recognize, hey, this individual beef, this is an individual thing, or it's a thing that's intercommunal. Meaning that's just some shit they're gonna handle inside a community. You not inside the community. Shut up. This ain't for you right now. Or it's just, that's how I see it. You feel me? Like I'm not inside the LGBT community. I'm not gonna be making no videos about Caitlyn Jenner. You know what I'm saying? I know, like Caitlyn Jenner ain't you feel me, ain't really standing in the way. I feel like using a lot of respectability politics to be able to appeal to people when it comes to the progression of trans people. I ain't gonna make no videos about that though, because I ain't, you know what I'm saying? Now don't get me wrong, I'll make a video about trans women being women, political, social, economic advancement of trans women, talk about healthcare for trans women. But when it comes to, you feel me, the squeaky wheels within the community, I'm gonna let the people inside the community grease them wheels, because I ain't, you feel me, I don't even have the proximity to do it. And that's really how I think what I'm saying when it come down to. It'd be a whole bunch of different black conservatives that I think that almost get to double down from a philosophical standpoint, get to have even more resentment and be feeling more justified in their position when they have non-black people come at them for being black and being in that position. Because then it's like, yeah, you trying to create that static notion of blackness. Because I'm always thinking about it. Hey, Frederick Douglass in the black community, even the most pro-black of the pro-black, don't respect Frederick Douglass. Frederick Douglass was a Republican. For all intents and purposes, he was a conservative. Now, we keeping it a stack. There are going to be some perspectives that Frederick Douglass had that would not run with right now in 2021. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like, in my mind, I think there is a way for black people to be Republican and conservative and to be ethical. Have I seen many of it? Hell no, nah. Especially not in the, you know what I'm saying, in the era we in now. But my understanding of history, I do think there is ways for black people to be conservative and it be seen, and it's not seen as being something that's grotesque. You feel me? I'm from Texas. I'm born and raised in a red state. You feel me? Shit, I'm a lot of, I'm raised, you feel me? Yeah. So just like, you know what I mean? But you see what I'm getting at though, right? Just like going back to blackness not being a monolith and black not being static, there are some fiscally conservative and or socially conservative perspectives within the black community, especially when we think about the black church, especially when we think about, you know what I'm saying, just different old school things like that. So I feel like when you start indicting people like Candace Owens or the Hodge twins or whatever tap dancers you want to, you know what I'm saying, do it like that. Or even that term right there. Right now, because I'm education's elevation. I'm gonna drop it right here. For all my followers, listen to me right now. Y'all hear me all the time refer to black conservatives as being tap dancers. I don't, if you're not black, you probably shouldn't refer to a, you know what I'm saying, a black conservative as a tap dancer. You know what I'm saying? Like if you hear black people call black conservatives coons, if you're not black, it's not a good idea for call a black person.
That's right. That's right.
You hear what I'm saying?
That's right. That's right. Yep. And I think that's what I just had this conversation like the other day, like 2 weeks ago or something. Like I see so many, even on TikTok, I see so many men, liberal men, stitching conservative women, and they use misogynistic rhetoric. Like someone shut her up, like someone punched her in the face. Like I'm just like, you can't say that. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't care if she was saying problematic things. Like, you have to systemically elevate our status. And for you to say just because she has a problematic viewpoint, yeah, I mean, attack her viewpoint. Yeah. Exactly. Like, she's so, like, what she said was so problematic. But that doesn't give you the right to then blanket, like, just, like, put all your misogyny onto her and say, someone please...
My son ate my nuggets and my fries, man. Shout out to my son. My daughter in here. My baby cut. Yeah, my son and wife came here and rescued the rest of my nuggets. My 3-year-old son is here. This 6-piece. Yeah, my 6. Yeah, this 6-piece. And shit, about 4 or 5 of my nuggets too. 4 of your nuggets. Damn, son. Like my 3-year-old ate a 10-piece. But yeah, my bad. I ain't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
Oh, everybody, we're with TheConciousLee. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, my bad. Hey, but you saying something important though, because I have had to. I've responded to, I think, Republican Barbie a few times, and if I'm giving all these Republicans all this free promo, you know what I'm saying? But I guess it is what it is. I responded and stitched Republican women before, and I've said things and literally went back and deleted it. Like, nah, that ain't come out right. You know what I'm saying? So I'm insightfully conscious to what you're talking about, because I feel like I have almost did it.
Right.
And too, if you went back and seen some of my videos of me stitching them, I would be curious. You know what I'm saying? I would be curious to hear your critiques of like, hey, now ConciousSlee, that shit sounded a little patriarchal, bro. You know, I would have taken that though. You know what I'm saying? I can imagine, like, I can only imagine them slippages. I'm seduced by sexism every day in terms of the structures, and it's like I think I'm an anti-sexist. That's how I see myself as being an ally to the, you know what I'm saying, to like women progression. I'm an anti-sexist. It's not stamped on my forehead that I done read all this shit. You feel me? I know a lot about it, but I know that because I'm positioned as a man and because I function in the world as a man, it's gonna be certain things that I get that I'm privileged as, regardless of what I feel that people give to me. And I think it's certain ways I just have blind spots that I'm learning about every day. You know, so
yeah, I actually was, I'm actually, I was actually gonna, make a video out of it, a video out of that. It's just, how to critique, not even critique, but how to, when somebody in the community that you're advocating for is problematic and saying problematic things, and that's actually, whatever they're saying is harmful to the community that, that you are advocating for. There is a way that you get involved and correct that person.
it
But
is.
right, but there is a way. You cannot just, like, I just see so many liberal men on the left who use conservative women who are problematic, who say problematic things, as a playground for them to just like to dump all their misogyny onto. And like, I see these videos, it's like, you do not say this to any woman. Like, if you want the advancement of women, and if you want to, women's liberation, you stop with that language. You do not call her a bitch. You do not say, someone please punch her in the mouth. Like, you do not say these things. Like, it's like, I see these videos and I just like, they blow up, and like these men talking about, I'm like, how are they blowing up? Like, and I just, no. Like, there is no circumstances in which you are justified in calling her a bitch. Like, there is no situation.
Y'all heard that, right? Y'all heard what she said. Y'all heard what she said, right?
What?
Can you repeat that just one more time? Cause that's really the main one I done seen. I ain't never did that before, but I didn't say it like, but can you repeat that just because people don't know? Like, you can't call them bitches, bro. Like,
there is no situation in which you are justified in calling a woman a bitch. Like, if like, if you are, if you are a woman, telling another woman, like, hey bitch, like, that is another story. But if you are a man committed to gender justice, you do not go and spread these misogynistic narratives. You do not perpetuate misogynistic languages. I do not care if it was Tommy Lauren. I do not care if it was Isabella. Like, I do not care. You do not make a video. You do not make a comment saying, please someone punch her. Please someone punch her. Like, hello? What? Like,
it's really sad you have to say this, but though I know shit be normalized though. You know what I'm saying?
like, and I would imagine that is saying, that is similar for a lot of communities. You be collectively concerned and committed to the liberation of that entire community, and with an understanding that there are problematic individuals, but you do not perpetuate the problems that you are trying to fight against, because certain individuals in that community are problematic. You didn't, you feel me? You know what I'm saying?
I definitely feel you. Yeah, I feel you. You know what I'm saying? I definitely feel you. I definitely feel you. I definitely feel you. You know, I definitely feel you. And too, I'm cool with it. E. You feel me? I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying? I think it's cool. But we're talking with another black person. Don't repeat what they say. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Don't emulate what they say. You feel me? I like it. I think I'm fascinated by it. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So we do it. But that we're having a conversation about allyship and about friendship. You know what I'm saying? So thought I put that out there. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm
I'm definitely gonna say this. I'm putting some on YouTube. I'm putting some clips up on IG. I feel like we got us a nice little some nice dialogue coming here right here. And too, to help you out on the video you're gonna make. I'm a debate coach as well. That's really my background and how I'm able to know what so much I know. What we teach debaters to do in debate is to attack the argument, not the debater.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's what we teach our debaters to do. We'll teach, like, because it's easy to make ad hominem attacks. It's easy to personalize something. It's easy to kind of making it where you're coming for a person instead of coming for the idea they said. And I think that's what we have to be able to separate a lot of the times. You see what I'm saying? And I think that, as a matter of fact, me saying this right here, this is one of the to add more context about why it's not good for men to call any women B words, regardless of whether you disagree with them. Why it's not good for no non-black person to call a black person a coon or something like that, because now you are attacking the person. You're no longer attacking the idea. You know what I'm saying? And I think that you have to be in proximity into a community to make it justifiable or rational for you to be able to attack a being, to hold them accountable for their personhood. You know what I'm saying? It'd be wild for me trying to come at a woman, trying to check her for her. You know what I'm saying? It's like, nah, bro, like, you stay in your lane. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the distinction. Attack the person, attack the idea or the argument, not the debater or the person. And I think that's the way you make those distinctions. So when you call a person a coon, yeah, don't get me wrong. Candace Owens says comments that is parasitic to black people. You should say that. Say you know what I'm saying? You can make that argument. You feel me? And that's debatable instead of being like you cooning. You know what I'm saying? Because now you're attacking the person. And I think that's the same thing. You recognizing that when them liberal dudes calling them B words, is hitting it in the face, it's like, ooh, you done slid into attacking her womanhood. That's not cool. That's not justifiable. And I think that's what it's like, ooh, we done slid in and you coming at their blackness. You can't do that. And that's how, you know what I'm saying? That's how I see it. Like, ugh.
Right. I mean, oh my goodness, I've had so many questions. We've only covered like some of it, but thank you for thank you for chatting with me, and thank you for holding this space for so many people. Like, you are truly incredible, and please continue doing what you're doing. You're so necessary, and I learned so much from you. Thousands and thousands of people, millions actually, learned so much from you, and I'm in your corner cheering. So
I'm in your corner as well. Yeah, we gonna. I feel like I'm gonna hit you on IG in the DM. Man, you gonna collab on a video though. Like, from that, because we threw out a lot of ideas now that we can, you know what I'm saying, we can make a video. So yeah, take DMs on that.
thank you so much again for introducing us to your daughter Izzy and gracing us with your with your presence and her presence. I've truly enjoyed this this hour, and thank you so much for teaching me and teaching thousands and millions of people.
And too, cause I see people keep on asking this or whatever. I did see he did make a video, an apology video to can you, because I just seen this in my comment section or whatever. Can you let them know where they can find that video? I seen the video that you apologized in. I thought it was a very thorough apology in terms of what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing. Can you, for the people that's in my comment section, and I'm gonna upload this, so the people that's gonna be looking for it, can you just fill them in just a little bit, and then let them know where they can find the video, just so we, you know what I'm saying, make sure we ain't ignoring the elephant in the room.
Yeah, for sure. I made a video a couple of days ago talking about how the left is a problem. Left is in the way of our own liberation. And in that, I spoke to this to how the BIPOC left treated the Dr. Cornel West, because that was my experience. That was my in my own world. That was what I saw. But the generalizations that I made, there was it could be so easily misconstrued that when I said BIPOC left, how they treated him, even though it was in the academia, that language can be coded, like it can be interpreted as a coded language of anti-blackness. Yeah. Talking about black activists, even though that was not my intentions. And I think when I make analysis like that, I need to be mindful of the black community that I am advocating for, and how it will be impacting them, and how other people will perceive my analysis and think about them, and not what I'm thinking, what I'm saying. So even though I was coming from a pure place, it was wrong. It was I should not have done that. And when Black people on TikTok showed up and said, this is this language like easily be this is harmful. My problem was, I initially didn't choose to listen to them because I was so proud that I have always been surrounded by Black people in my own world, that listening to them was all that mattered. And that's not what people are supposed to do if you're an ally to a community. When when other people in the community show up to tell you that you're doing something wrong, you have to listen to them and not default to the Black people in your own life that and be shielded in that. And that's what happened, and I own up to all of that. And the apology video, I mean, I don't like calling it apology video because it just makes it feel so weak. The accountability video,
The video. You find it on
accountability
the IG.
accountability video is up on my IG and TikTok. It's on the very first. It's the very first thing that you see when you click on my page, and it's gonna be the first thing that you see on my page for days, because I want people to see it, and I want to be held accountable, and I'm grateful that I was held accountable, and I accept the accountability. So thank you for asking that, and I'm open to feedback anytime, and I'm really grateful that people are giving me the permission to not be perfect, and permission to mess up, and and own up to it, and also and also permission to use my to use my discretion in embracing criticism, and sort of understanding how this landscape works when it comes to criticism from the community that I'm advocating for. So I'm deeply grateful for all the Black people who spoke up, and who let me know, and who woke me up and said, you can't, if you are an ally and if you're serious about being an ally, this is not how you show up for us. And I'm grateful that you and I are allies to each other, and friends with each other. So you can hold me accountable, and I can hold you accountable, and I understand that is love, and that is
That's our power that we have.
Yeah.
That power of accountability.
Yep. That and I understand all of this is love, even the criticisms that I'm receiving. So I'm deeply thankful for you, and for everybody else who's holding me accountable.
Yeah, man. Hey, shout out to E. Y'all know what time it is, man. It's George Lee, aka Conscious Lee. Don't forget the Lee. We got it right here. GeorgeLeeSpeaks.com if you're interested in any workshops, any facilitation. I also got that merch. I got my They Lost in the South shirt on today. You know what I'm saying? I got some new merch coming y'all way as well. E, you got anything, you know what I'm saying? What can people find you at? You know what I mean? You got a website, what you got on, going on, so we can close it out, man. Don't let them know.
I will always boost you. Please let me know if there's anything I can do to support you, even though you're doing far better than I am. I'm here for you. I'm here rooting for you, truly. And thank you so much for everything, ConciousLee.
Thank you. Hey, well, I'll let y'all daddy do these calls. I got a podcast to get on to in an hour and a half, so I got to go get my kids some attention for bedtime. For all of y'all that's interested, though, I will be going live tonight on YouTube at around 9:30 Central Time. Listen, we on CP time too, goddammit. We on CP time, but around 9:30, if you're on YouTube, be looking, be looking for me and my co-host, Political Plug, Toya G. We always got some nice conversations for y'all coming y'all way, man. But yeah, I'll holler at y'all.
Everybody tune in, please. If you're a supporter of mine, you will tune in. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
All right, ConciousLee, we love you. Bye, everybody.